What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package known as the American Jobs Plan, and the next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan, as well as what is going on in the world today. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new updates. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We cover the next stimulus and infrastructure package, as well as all the other stimulus provisions, including state stimulus checks, county stimulus checks, stimulus programs, mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance, SNAP program, pandemic EBT program. I'll have a update for you guys later today on that. More money could be coming, as well as basically all the different stimulus programs. If you've been watching this show, just know one thing: there's a lot more than just the main stimulus check or even a fourth stimulus check, because again, when they pass this next package, there's about 20 different items they're currently negotiating on right now, and we're going to jump right into that. First, we're going to hear from Democratic Representative Pramila Jayapal. Also, make sure to watch all the way to the end of this video for some special guest appearances that you won't want to miss. Yeah, it'll be a good one. She is the co-sponsor for the bill, the monthly recurring bill, that would immediately provide a $2,000 one-time stimulus check, a fourth stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments throughout the pandemic that continue for 1 year after the end of the crisis to help our country and our families recover. The reason for this is because the pandemic is the economic portion of it is going to continue on likely for years. And this will help Americans, people, and also the economy dig out of the current hole we're in. She's also the co-sponsor of a bill to expand Medicare in the American Families Plan, which is the next stimulus package. As you can see here, 70% of the House Democratic caucus calls on the White House to expand Medicare by lowering the eligibility age to age 60 or age 55, improving benefits to include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids included in the cost of Medicare for no additional cost, I should say, and dropping the price of prescription drugs. And we can actually pay for all these increases simply by forcing pharmaceutical companies, big pharma, to give the prescription drugs to the U.S. government for the same price they give it to other countries. Pramila Jayapal is the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, which is almost 100 different members in the House of Representatives. You can see here there's actually a lot of very prominent members in here. She's the leader of this group, and as we know, the Democrats tend to all vote together, and if they demand that a stimulus check or in fact, Bernie Sanders is the only Senate member in this group because it's a House of Representatives group, but he joined it anyways. There's a lot of different Democratic members here in this Progressive Caucus, and Pramila Jayapal is the leader of that. So here is Democratic Representative Pramila Jayapal on the next infrastructure package and the negotiations and what the progressive Democrats are thinking right now.
Joining us now is Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of the great state of Washington. She's chair of the House Progressive Caucus. Congresswoman Jayapal, thank you so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate you being here.
It's so great to see you, Rachel.
So I don't spend a lot of time talking about the arcane twists and turns of congressional procedure. But in this case, I feel like this emerging plan, that there is this little bipartisan thing that senators have worked out amongst themselves, which may or may not pass with some number of Republicans, and this larger bill that Democrats may have to do on their own through reconciliation, those things moving together in tandem does, to me at least, seem like a plan that everybody's on board with. Is that fair?
It's a really big deal, and you're absolutely right to call it out. And let me just call out why we got to where we are and just take a little credit for the progressive movement's work in organizing. For weeks, we have been saying directly to the Speaker, to the Senate Majority Leader, to the White House, we will not move a smaller infrastructure bill, bipartisan, whatever, unless we have simultaneously a big reconciliation bill that has all of our priorities, particularly the 5 progressive priorities that the Progressive Caucus has identified. That is robust childcare, it's Medicare expansion, it's bold climate action, it's immigration for essential workers, and it's housing. Those were the 5 priorities we had identified a month and a half ago. And so we have been very clear about our message. And in fact, last week, Rachel, one of the things we did just to really emphasize the point, let's say, in the nicest way possible, is we polled our members, our 95 members in the Progressive Caucus, and we said, well, what do you think? Will you support just a regular old infrastructure package if it's bipartisan and small? Or will you say we are not going to vote for any such package unless there has been a reconciliation package that has been passed that includes these priorities? And we got overwhelming support, which I was then able to share with the Speaker, with the Senate Majority Leader, with others. Of course, in the Senate, progressives were doing the same thing. So I think this is a real victory for the progressive movement at large and for the country at large, of course, because this is about delivering for real people. And to have the President of the United States, the Speaker of the House, the Senate Majority Leader saying what progressives have been saying for 3 weeks has been, frankly, an organizing campaign, and one that we feel very good about. And we now feel like there's a lot of steps to go forward, but we feel like this is a new day. It's a new place because we are now focused on what that hopefully $6 trillion or more package can be for reconciliation that has all of our priorities.
It's such a key point in terms of getting here. I think it is worth stepping back from this, as you just described, to see that the kind of strategy that everybody is now agreeing to in terms of how this is going to move forward really is what progressives were demanding from sort of outside the box as recently as 3 weeks ago. And it now has become what everybody's agreed to in terms of how this is moving forward. I sort of had a feeling that it might be going this direction. Last night, we had Senator Elizabeth Warren here live, and she articulated the same strategy that now everybody's agreed to today that you and your colleagues were pushing for these last few weeks, which is, a bipartisan bill that they worked out with some Republican senators. It's okay, but we're not going to do that in place of the larger reconciliation bill. They have to go together.
So this kind of gives us a reason why we may be seeing Nancy Pelosi and then thus President Biden say that that there has to be these packages passed in tandem, and that basically came from a lot of the Democrats in the House of Representatives. The Progressive Caucus, as we said, is almost 100 members. It's almost half of all the U.S. House of Representatives. And remember, when we talk about at least the reconciliation bills, the next stimulus package, which is almost assuredly going to be passed through reconciliation, which means just the Democrats are going to pass it, which means all 50 Democrats in the Senate will have to vote for it, just like they did with the third stimulus check package. And you'll need about 99.5% of the Democrats in the House to say yes to it. To get rid of the filibuster rule, you pass the reconciliation, you go through the reconciliation process where you only need 50 to 51 votes in the Senate instead of 60. That's how they pass the third stimulus check package. It's almost for surely how they're going to pass the fourth stimulus check package as well, where there's about these 20 different items that they're currently deciding what will be in this next stimulus package. And she says that she polled her members of the Democratic Progressive Caucus and said, would they rather go with the bill, the bipartisan bill, or would they rather make sure that they're passed in tandem? And she said an overwhelming amount of their members said this. So this is probably where this idea came from, and they brought it to Nancy Pelosi, and then Nancy Pelosi brought this up. So it kind of seems like, and again, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. A lot of people think Nancy Pelosi may have went rogue on this. I kind of thought that too, but now it maybe looks like it came up through the Democratic Party from the House of Representatives, based on what Pramila Jayapal just said here, and then President Biden had to kind of back them if he wasn't alerted to this, this plan from Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats at first, that they have to pass both these packages at the same time in the Senate, then the House will vote for them. And a lot of Republicans don't like that. They feel like they're being held hostage. They feel like this is not the deal they agreed to. They feel like it's an ultimatum. Like now, the weird thing about this is that the stimulus package, so they're talking about the pass these in tandem. Here's what they're talking about. They're talking about pass the bipartisan bill, which means both Republicans and Democrats pass that infrastructure bill. Then they're going to pause it. Then they'll probably have to vote on the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, in the Senate. Both these votes will probably start in the Senate. They don't need to start in the House. A lot of people think that for whatever reason that's not the case. Okay, and Nancy Pelosi says she won't let them go to a vote unless she changes her mind until they're both passed in the Senate. Now, she even said, and I think everybody knows, the next stimulus package, American Families Plan, is going to be passed through the reconciliation process. It's going to be passed without the Republicans. So if the Democrats are going to do that anyways, why are we forcing both these bills to be passed together in tandem? The only reason I could possibly think is just to make sure that moderate Democrats like Senator Joe Manchin fall in line to pass this next package. But he even said, he came out and said, I know that this stimulus package, they're calling it the American Families Plan. They're not really calling it a stimulus package, but let's be honest, it's a stimulus package. I mean, almost everything in there is like stimulus-related programs. And as you know, there's a lot more than just a stimulus check when we talk about stimulus items. We have like mortgage assistance, rent assistance, possible Social Security increases, possible Medicare increases. They're talking about 2 years of free preschool, 2 years of free community college, which will be a game changer. I mean, these are all things that like the government's going to pay for people, or put money in your pocket, or give you additional benefits like Medicare. I mean, these are all stimulus items. I mean, you've been watching the show long enough to know that there's all these additional stimulus provisions that are passed in stimulus packages, like the third one and even the second one and the first one, that have other types of stimulus money. We call them stimulus provisions on the show. There's going to be, when they pass this next package, there's probably going to be 10 or 15 different stimulus provisions like this that will be passed. And Joe Manchin says he knows that he's going to have to vote yes on this. They'll just have to negotiate on it. So I don't know. You can let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you feel like that the Democrats demanding that both these packages be passed at the same time, which is kind of an insurance policy to make sure that the stimulus package needs to be passed? Do you think that this needs to be done? Or do you think that there may be, I don't know, maybe overstepping this a little bit? Because I don't really think this step needs to be done. I think they could pass the infrastructure package with Republican support. And we've seen even President Biden say that Republicans are going to try to block that American Families Plan. They don't need any Republican votes. So this is going to probably happen the same thing the way the third stimulus check package was. All the Republicans are going to vote no. They're all going to vote no on the next stimulus package, just like they did on the third stimulus check package. And the Democrats are going to pass that anyways through the reconciliation process. Even Joe Manchin said that he knows that is exactly what's going to happen. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I've been getting a lot of questions about where their what do we call this? The $10,200 unemployment tax break or stimulus check. This was passed from the third stimulus check package. It is one of those stimulus provisions that we talk about. At the very last day, the very last couple hours, they added this provision in there that made $10,200 of unemployment income for last year tax-free. So the average American that had unemployment income last year is getting an additional $1,000 check. Well, the IRS is still sending out these checks. They've just kind of started here in the last week or two. They're going out to single tax filers first. I have not seen any reports of married filing jointly people that have gotten theirs yet. Let me know down below in the comments. As you can see here, taxpayers hoping they'll be among the recipients of the second batch of unemployment-related refunds are growing anxious. Now, as I said, I don't think that I've seen any reports of married filing jointly couples going out yet. Everybody I've seen that has got their $10,200 unemployment tax break, which means you'll be getting around an extra $1,000 check from the IRS from this third stimulus check package. It was one of those stimulus provisions thrown in at the last minute, which is going to give millions of people an additional check. Yeah, the IRS is very far behind right now. They're sending these out. I'll let you know when I see another batch go out. But right now, in fact, let me know down below in the comments, or let our viewers know down below in the comments, if you got your refund for the $10,200 unemployment tax break that makes $10,200 of income tax-free. Let our viewers know down below in the comments if you got it recently, how long ago you got it, if you're a single filer or not, and that'll help our viewers know. They're still going out, but they're going out pretty slowly. By the way, yeah, the IRS is actually still sending out third stimulus checks as well as also plus up payments. They're sending out over 1 million of these. It seems like every week or so. So yeah, they are still sending out third stimulus checks as well as plus up payments, which are payments that basically you filed a tax return 2020 tax return, and then the IRS realizes that they owe you more money. Maybe you got a reduced stimulus check before, maybe you had a new baby and you claimed a child. For whatever reason, if you got less of a stimulus check on either the first or second, and they owe you more money, they're sending out plus up checks right now. The third stimulus check doesn't really qualify for that because that's for the 2021 tax year. So that'll be like, if you don't end up getting it, you'll claim it on your 2021 taxes that you'll file next year. But all these kind of like additional checks are going out to people right now. There's still like over 1 million people getting these per week. I'll keep you updated on this, as well as the IRS is going to be sending out these child tax credit monthly checks of $250 to $300 per month starting on July 15th. I'll link you to a most recent video I did on that at the end of this video. If you have children, you definitely should watch that because these checks are already approved. They're monthly checks of $250 to $300 per month till the rest of the year, and a one lump sum of the first half of the year on your tax return. Also, another stimulus provision that is currently being negotiated and could end up in this next package or even the next stimulus package after that, as Democrats are already talking about another package after this. They're not just going to stop after these next two packages, as the economic recovery is likely going to take years, is a potential first-time home buyer credit that actually applies to people who aren't necessarily a first-time home buyer, even just a new home buyer, that you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years. You can qualify for anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000. There's two different proposals out there for $15,000 tax credit and a $25,000 tax credit. Each kind of has its own criteria, and you actually could get the money to use as a down payment at closing that you could use when you go to buy a house if this is passed in the next package. So there's a $15,000 to $25,000 home buyer potential credit that could be included in this next package. So yeah, these are some very interesting stimulus provisions. So let me know your thoughts. I will keep you up to date on everything stimulus related. Next, I want to show you a little clip of my son Julian and my wife Laurel of a incident that happened here at our house on the couch the other day. Check this out. I know a lot of you guys watching love seeing my son, so I filmed this when it was happening. It was a very interesting situation. All right, Julian, there's a couple more pillows that Mommy needs.
Oh, no,
There's a
I
couple
don't need
more.
it anymore.
She doesn't quite have enough here.
I don't need it anymore. No!
Julian, you forgot these pillows over here.
Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh, I've got a little pocket where I can see out of.
All right, there you go. That's how you have to watch TV.
Hey, I can see out of here, though. Ready? The Pillow Monster!
Get him, Pillow Monster!
Pillow Monster!
Yeah, so there's a daily glimpse of what goes on at our house here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be sure to bring you more updates as well as some kind of updates on my family as we go here. If you've been watching the show, you know about me and my wife's health problems. I've been suffering from vertigo every day, and I just cannot get it to go away. I still have it every single day. It's crazy. I'm hoping I go to the doctor on Wednesday. I'm gonna have him put me on Topamax. It's a migraine medicine that I used to take years ago. Let me know if you take it. But I think that maybe because we're researching this every day, trying to figure out what's causing this vertigo that I've had for like almost 2 months now, every day. It's not just like a one-time thing. It's every day. I'm hoping that it's caused by vestibular migraines. and I'm hoping that Topamax might help it out. So I'll keep you updated on that. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. And remember that new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll also have some interesting videos for you later on today, so don't miss those videos. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. This top video over here to watch about the child tax monthly payments of $250 to $300 per month per child. Click on that if you have children. Or this bottom video is my newest video about Social Security increases. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.